With just one type of organic fertilizer, orchids will root vigorously and bloom year-round. Today I will share a new, easy-to yet highly effective organic fertilizer that helps orchids develop strong roots, thick green leaves, and stimulates continuous new flower production. When applied correctly, you will see a noticeable change in your orchid plant, blooming profusely throughout the season. Next, before fertilizing my orchids, I always follow a very important principle: water first. I thoroughly water the growing medium and roots before applying fertilizer. The purpose is not only to moisten it, but also to reactivate the root system after a period of dryness. When the roots are watered for about 15 minutes, the cells begin to function again, and the plant is then ready to absorb nutrients. If you fertilize when the growing medium is still dry, the roots are very susceptible to shock, even root tip burn. After waiting for sufficient time, I then apply the fertilizer solution to the roots and growing medium. After the initial 15 minutes of soaking and watering, I lifted the orchid out to re-examine the growing medium. If the water is clear, it indicates the growing medium is clean, free of salt buildup, and without residual dirt. Conversely, if the water drains out cloudy, it's a sign the growing medium is dirty, possibly with accumulated old fertilizer residue or fungi and bacteria. Therefore, the following natural fertilizer I recommend helps fight bacteria and fungi while providing nutrients. Next, I use ginger, a very familiar but highly effective ingredient in orchid care. Ginger has natural antibacterial and antifungal properties, and its warming properties stimulate metabolism in plants. Then I slice it thinly to easily extract the active ingredients. I often use it to help plants recover and increase their resistance. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to support me and so you don't miss any orchid care tips. It's great to have you as a companion on this journey. Next, I prepared a clean container to begin mixing the solution. After slicing the ginger, I put all of it into the container. Next, I use leftover breadcrumbs, a very readily available ingredient after daily use. When using, I take about 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs and add them to the prepared mixture. Bread contains B vitamins along with a certain amount of potassium and phosphorus. These components support metabolism and contribute to stimulating stronger root activity. Next, I added about 500 milliliters of boiling water to extract the active ingredients from the prepared materials. After adding the water, I stirred well to mix the components. Once the mixture was homogeneous, I sealed the lid and covered it with a cloth to maintain a stable temperature. I let it steep for about an hour to maximize the extraction of the essence. After an hour of incubation, I opened the lid to check. By now, the water had changed color, and the essences from the ginger and breadcrumbs had dissolved into the solution. I used a sieve or clean cloth to remove all the ginger pulp and breadcrumbs, keeping only the clear liquid. The resulting liquid is the nutrient solution used to care for the orchids. Next, I add about 500 milliliters of clean filtered water to the previously filtered solution. This dilution helps adjust the nutrient concentration to a safe level for roots and leaves, especially when used for plants in the recovery or flowering stage. Next, I poured some of the solution into a separate cup for easier handling. Then I prepared a soft, clean cotton pad and began treating each orchid pot in the garden. I soaked the cotton pad in the solution and carefully wiped each leaf. I wiped the top surface to remove accumulated dust and dirt, allowing the leaves to photosynthesize better. I also wiped the underside, as this is where fungi and insects often reside. Treating both sides of the leaf evenly will keep the surface clean, airy, and reduce the risk of disease. Which country are you watching this video from? Let me know in the comments. It's wonderful that we can connect and chat with each other from all over the world. I didn't skip the flower stalks either. I gently wiped along the stalk to increase antibacterial properties and limit fungal and insect infestation during the bud development stage. After wiping, you will clearly see the layer of dust and dirt clinging to the flowers. Next, I transferred the orchid to another pot. I always replace the cotton swab with a fresh one to avoid cross-contamination between plants. I wipe each leaf evenly, both the top and bottom surfaces carefully but gently to avoid scratching the leaf epidermis. I do this for each plant in the garden. By doing this thoroughly and evenly for each pot, the orchid will maintain healthy, clean, and stable foliage throughout its growth. Next, I prepare a clean spray bottle specifically for orchid care solutions. Then, I pour all the prepared nutrient solution into the bottle. Next, I started spraying the solution all over the orchid plant. I sprayed evenly on the upper surface of the leaves to clean off any remaining dirt, then gently turned each leaf over to thoroughly spray the underside. This is where fungi and insects often hide. If not treated properly, the disease can easily recur. When sprayed correctly, the solution adheres evenly, penetrates the leaf surfaces, and supports the plant's metabolic processes. I also lightly sprayed the flower stalks. This helps clean dust, limit mold, and harmful insects during the flowering stage. The ginger extract has natural antibacterial properties, helping to disinfect the surface and maintain a stable growing environment. I maintain this nutrient solution every 2 weeks. On normal days, I water with clean water and mist the plant every 3 days to keep it moist and prevent it from drying out. Next, I prepared a watering can to treat the roots. After mixing the nutrient solution to the correct concentration, I poured it into the can and began watering directly at the base of the plant. Next, after watering the roots and growing medium with the solution, I placed the pot in a tray and let it soak for about 20 minutes. Soaking helps a growing medium absorb the solution from below, allowing the roots to absorb it more fully and evenly than just surface watering. Once the roots have absorbed enough nutrient, the plant will transport them to nourish the leaves and flower stalks, sustaining the entire growth process. I maintain this process every 2 weeks. By following the correct cycle, the plant will accumulate stable strength, have thicker leaves, stronger roots, and more sustained flowering. After soaking for the required time, I remove the pot, let it drain naturally, and return the plant to its original planting location for continued monitoring. I didn't discard the remaining nutrient solution, and instead I used it to water the other orchid pots in the garden. After watering the roots and growing medium thoroughly, I still soaked the pots for about 20 minutes, as I had done before. Soaking helps the roots absorb nutrients completely from the bottom up, ensuring the plant absorbs enough and evenly. After soaking the pot for 20 minutes, I used a clean cotton towel to thoroughly dry all the remaining water in the leaf buds, leaf axils, and leaf surface. If water remains in these areas, especially in humid or cold weather, it creates conditions for fungal and bacterial infections. I cleaned them completely, leaving no water behind. After wiping, you will see that the leaves are bright, dry, and well ventilated. Clean leaves significantly increase photosynthesis. For plants with buds, keeping the flower stalks and leaf axils dry helps limit insect damage and mold, thus promoting more stable bud development. The flowers will later have thicker petals, richer colors, and last longer. After completion, I removed the plant from the soaking tray, let it air dry naturally, and then moved it to a well-ventilated area with good light. I prioritized diffuse light, strong enough for efficient photosynthesis, but absolutely avoid direct sunlight as it can easily burn the leaves. I usually place the plants on a covered balcony or under a shade net, where it's well ventilated and receives plenty of light. With sufficient light and good air circulation, the plants will increase their metabolism, develop strong roots, and promote rapid, healthy, and stable flower stalk growth. Thus, after a period of proper care, you can clearly see the results. The orchid grows healthily, with thick, glossy leaves, a strong root system, and flowers beginning to bloom in the bright garden. The flowers are vibrant in color, with thick petals that last a long time. The flower stalks are long, branching well, and buds are numerous and evenly distributed. When the plant is strong enough, the entire system from root, stem, leaves, flower stalks will function synchronously, clearly showing its vitality. I maintain a nutrient regimen twice a month. Especially in winter, the ginger solution plays a particularly important role. Its natural warmth helps the plant stabilize growth in cold weather, limits fungal diseases, and supports the process of bud and flower development. A close observation of the roots reveals healthy, white roots with firm root tips. Strong roots lead to thick leaves, and healthy leaves lead to long-lasting flowers. With proper care, even on freezing days, the orchid garden still blooms profusely, with long flower stalks, abundant flowers, and vibrant colors. When orchids are nurtured systematically, they will respond with abundant, vibrant, and brightly colored blooms. In the next video, I'll reveal a new method to revive care for orchids, helping them sprout roots and bloom incredibly fast.